Alright guys, I'm going to show you what's going on here, what items we got. I'll try to be quick with this, but there's a lot of little things here. This is the gauge that we're going to be installing. It's a Autometer, Tachometer, Cobalt series. I'm really getting it for the light. It has a light at the top of it, and I want it in a 2 1/16 pod, so, or 1/8 once again. It's the standard pod size, but I wanted a shift light in one of those pods, so that's why I bought this specifically. It was pretty expensive. It was like 180 bucks, so keep that in mind. This is our boost gauge. It's a Prosport series. I think you can change the colors on it and stuff. I'm not really sure. We'll find out when we power it on. That is our gauge. It takes a signal over this green wire to this boost sender, which is the next item I'm going to show you guys. This plugs in. You're going to have an air line coming from your supercharger or whatever forced induction you have, and it's going to plug into there. It has 3 wires. I believe it all goes over the white wire and sends the signal. These are pretty standard. If you buy any boost gauge that's over digital, it uses this basically. I haven't seen any other products. There's a diaphragm between the sender and the valve. Not the valve, but the T. So we gotta tube that in somewhere. I got a bunch of connectors and stuff. I mean, you're gonna need, really this is an electrical job. You have to figure out how to get signals and tap in and do all kinds of stuff. We're gonna be using a bunch of these little splitters here temporarily to verify all the signals, but you put the wires in there and you clamp them down and you can use these split signals, so it's pretty helpful. We are going to have to do soldering no matter what. This is our Tach generator signal pickup. This attaches to the coil on one of your coils on your ignition. I'm going to show you guys how to set that up. Honestly, I have not seen any Gen 3 Hemi people with a video online on how to set this up. So hopefully this is helpful to everybody that wants to do this, get a Tach light going on their car. I have another product. I'll probably slide it into this video somewhere, but it was made by Autometer, and it wanted you to splice every wire on your ignition and make them one node. I mean, it was insane. Like, I do not use that product. I'll show you guys before I end the video because I bought it and I looked at it and I was like, this is not happening. All right, guys, this is the product I was talking about that you should not buy. It's called the Tach adapter Autometer, and I also emailed them and asked them about it, and they said this is the only way to generate a signal from your vehicle. Is basically what they told me. And they said if I use a device that reads off of the ECU, like through the OBD2 port, I could read it like that. But there's a delay on those. They're not as accurate. That's why I don't use those. But anyways, this is the product, $112. This is what they wanted you to do. Now, they have different ways of doing it for different vehicles, but like Mustang, if you scroll down to a Dodge Hemi right here, connecting Dodge Hemi with coil per cylinder ignition. Okay, look at this shit. It wants you to literally splice every wire and then reattach with red on every wire and connect them in as one node. It's literally insane that they would ever ask anybody to do this. And I challenge Autometer to show me a vehicle that they did this on and it actually worked. Because I don't think it works. Anyway, we got fittings. These are too big, I think. I went and looked, but we got these ones. They fit on our power wire perfectly. You're going to need something like that. You're going to need a soldering iron, a heat gun to do heat shrink, but we're going to get started wiring here. So this is the wiring diagram I made. There's 4 devices we're hooking up, and the MSD Tach connects to the negative ignition coil wire, and then the green goes straight to the Tach light. It gets switched 12-volt power, and it goes to ground. Boost sender, green wire goes to the boost gauge, and it gets 12-volt power switched. Then these both get 12-volt switched power, and the boost gauge has to be wired to the battery.
and they all go to ground. So there's quite a bit of wire in here. The wires on the MSD Tach and the boost sender were super short, so I had to solder in new wires for all of these that were longer.
So one thing I want to do here is I'm going to zip tie this down right here. So anyways, the Tach adapter is going to go on this coil wire right here. It's hard to see because I got to get in the way, but it's already exposed. All right, we're going to put this ignition coil reader on. This is it right here. As a screw, and I read in the instructions, both these washers have to be in place and all that. I'm unscrewing it now. I'm afraid everything's gonna go flying though. I think I gotta take the screw out completely. Oh, this is gonna be harder than it looks. The problem is doing this handoff. You gotta hold that thing on and then put the screws in. Okay, we got it on there. That's like Operation, the video game, or the board game. I mean, if you drop that screw down, that sucker is beyond gone, and it's like a tiny screw with two tiny washers, and it says you have to have both washers connected, or you're screwed. I almost lost one of them. So that's my opinion on that. To those curious, that's where you get the port for the air PSI coming out of the Whipple. There's a little grommet that goes in there, and you can take a 1/8 hose to 1/4 connection and put it in there. I also have another one similar right here. I cut the hose off of it, but you can see this is the same thing. It's a 1/2 inch. I bought this fitting because I thought I could get the air off another connection. I'll show you where that's at. I bought a this little fitting here to connect to this hose port here, thinking I could get the PSI off this outlet, but it did not work. I got a -1 PSI the whole time when I hooked it up. So I ended up running it to the wrong spot, but that's the spot. This fitting's made by Color Fittings, and honestly, if you ever need any fittings like this, they're pretty amazing. They helped me out quite a bit. They got me the proper item, and I am not sponsored by them or anything like that, but you know, they helped me. They got me what I needed. This is the location of the MSD Tach adapter right there. It goes on the brown and yellow wire. I kind of showed that earlier, but I didn't say what color wire it was. To my understanding, there's a brown and yellow on every coil that you can use. And the other wire is going to always be a different color. And I believe that's the ground side. Right now, I have my air ran kind of in a bad spot. You can see it's going all along there. And there's no issues to the car or to the hose because of anything it's touching right now. But I'm going to try to relocate that right now and move it to a different location. So anyways, for the wiring, we took a jumper off this wire. We used our fuse tester to test every fuse and see which ones turned on and which ones didn't when the car turned on. The best way of knowing that is to test every fuse while the car's off and then turn it on and test every fuse and see what changed. What you want is a fuse that's only on, only getting 12 volt power while the car is running. Or I'm sorry, while the car is running. They would be off while the car's not running. We tapped into our battery power there. Our ground is right down there. So these are the fuse taps, by the way. You basically plug it in and then where do you do it? And then you plug your fuse in on the side right here, and you can relocate. You can get a signal off your fuse through this wire. And they sell these in assortment packs. I got like all the different size fuses. They come with fuses too. So something to think about. I would definitely get that if you have to do anything like this. I ended up running all my wires right here through the edge right here, and you can hit them through a firewall. You just have to figure out where the firewall is located on your specific vehicle, but that's basically what you want to do with that. So I'm going to start the car up and show you what they look like. I'm going to turn my light off. Bottom one's the Tach light, the top one's the boost controller, and they all work. I'll link another video of them running under boost. The Tach light, I had to set it to like 2-cylinder mode, I think. I think it was set to 1 originally, and then it was like half of what it should have been, and then I doubled it, and it came out to be perfect after that. So something to think about. I'll give it a little bit. But you can kind of see it's doing its thing. It looks good. I'm really happy with the result. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe. Appreciate it.